Hello everyone, very good morning. So I am back with our daily current affairs session. In today's session also, as always, we have some very important news with us. Then we have some very important questions based on current affairs. So without any delay, let's just start today's session. So the first very important news today that we have is related to the functioning of the National Investigation Agency. So in this particular news article, we are going to see that why is National Investigation Agency is now in news, and also we will try to understand its functioning and all the other aspects. Okay, so let's just start. The National Investigation Agency, which is also known as NIA, has taken over the probe into the terrible beheading of a person in Udaipur by jihadi radicals. So we already know that recently in Udaipur, a man was beheaded. He was a tailor by two people who were from jihadi radical community. So now we will now what has happened actually, वो जो case था वो National Investigation Agency को दे दिया गया. They are probing into that particular case. So that is why National Investigation Agency is in news. Okay, so let's just try to understand that what is National Investigation Agency. So headquartered in Delhi, the National Investigation Agency has its branch in Hyderabad, Guwahati, Kochi, Lucknow, Mumbai, Kolkata, Raipur, Jammu, Chandigarh, Ranchi, Chennai, Imphal, Bangalore and Patna. So इसमें सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि जो हेडक्वार्टर है नेशनल इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी का वो कहाँ है, दैट यू हैव टू रिमेम्बर. And apart from that, you have to also remember that where are the other centers. So you have to talk about the branches. You have to remember at least the number. Okay. Now it is the central agency mandated to investigate all the offences affecting sovereignty, security, and integrity of India, friendly relations with foreign states, offences under the statutory laws enacted to implement international treaties, agreements, conventions, and resolutions of the UN, its agencies, and other international organizations. So ये basically central agency है जो कि investigate करती है सारे ऑफेंसेस को जो कि या तो इंडिया की सोवरेनिटी, सिक्योरिटी या इंटीग्रिटी को इफेक्ट करे, कोई फ्रेंडली रिलेशन हो अगर किसी फॉरेन स्टेट से, उसको भी इन्वेस्टिगेट कर देती है, और कोई भी ऐसा ऑफेंस हो जो स्टैट्यूटरी लॉ से इनेक्ट होके कोई इंटरनेशनल ट्रीटी या एग्रीमेंट से रिलेटेड हो, कन्वेंशन से रिलेटेड हो, UN से related कोई resolution हो, उसमें it can probe. Okay, so all these things it can probe it. The offense include terror attacks and their possible links with crimes like smuggling of arms, drugs, and fake Indian currency, and infiltration from across the border. So कोई भी ऐसा offense हो, terror related act हो, कोई criminal linkage हो, smuggling of weapons हो, drugs related हो, कोई भी fake currency related हो, so all these things are looked into by National Investigation Agency. The agency has the power to search, seize, arrest, and prosecute those involved in such offences. Okay, so agency के पास power है कि वो देख सकता है, research कर सकता है इस particular ऐसे offences में, seize कर सकते हैं, arrest कर सकते हैं, prosecute कर सकते हैं, जो भी इस ऐसे तरीके के crimes में involved रहते हैं, ऐसे ऑफेंसेस में इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं उन, ओके। नाउ now what did NIA come into being? Sorry, when did, okay? कब से जो ये नेशनल इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी है उसका गठन हुआ? That's this is what we are going to see in this particular slide. So in the wake of 26/11 Mumbai terror attack in November 2008, which shocked the entire world, the then United Progressive Alliance government decided to establish the National Investigation Agency. So actually कब बनी थी ये? जब जो 26/11 अटैक हुए थे मुंबई में, उसके बाद से इसका गठन हुआ. In December 2008, former Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram introduced the National Investigation Agency Bill. So 2008 दिसंबर में जो उस टाइम के यूनियन होम मिनिस्टर थे पी चिदम्बरम, उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था ये बिल, नेशनल इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी बिल. ओके, एंड द एजेंसी वुड deal with only 8 laws mentioned in the schedule, and that a balance has been struck between the rights of the state and duties of the central government to investigate the more important cases. और ये जो एजेंसी है, ये सिर्फ 8 laws सिर्फ जो 8 laws mentioned है in the schedule, उसी पे it can probe and it can deal with those only, and there is kind of a problem of balance between the rights of the state and the duties with the central government in the investigation of a more important case. Now, another point is the agency came into existence on December 31, 2008, and it started its functioning in 2009. Very, very important this point. एजेंसी एग्जिस्टेंस में आई थी 31 दिसंबर 2008 को और काम शुरू कर दिया था 2009 से. So up till date, National Investigation Agency has registered 447 cases. This is also important, but not very important. Okay. Now, what are those 8 schedules? This we are going to see. What are those? Sorry. Yeah. What are those schedules which we have, just read before? We will try to understand. Now, the list includes Explosive Substance Act. देखो, for this particular slide, इसमें ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको पूरा रट्टा मार के सारे शेड्यूल याद करने होंगे, but just try to have a basic idea so that when you, if there is a question कि कौन सा नहीं है या कौन सा है, so you can have an idea and you can try to answer that. Okay. Otherwise, एक दो बार भी आप देखेंगे ना तो आपको काफी हद तक दिमाग में सेट हो जाएगा. So first is Explosive Substance Act, Atomic Energy Act, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, Anti-Hijacking Act, Suppression of Unlawful Act Against Safety of Civil Aviation, SARC Convention, Suppression of Unlawful Act Against Safety of Maritime Navigation and Fixed Platform on Continental Shelf Act, Weapons of Mass Destruction and their Delivery System, relevant offences under the Indian Penal Code, Arms Act, and Information Technology Act. So these are the schedule in which ये जो list है ये it is there, and these are the offences actually in which it can probe. The NIA, which is National Investigation Agency, can probe in such cases. Okay. Now, in September 2020, the center empowered the NIA to also probe offenses under the Narcotics, Drug and Psychopathic Substance Act that are connected to terror cases. So 2020 से जो भी narcotics, drugs and psychopathic substance act वाले जो केस हैं, if they are connected to terror cases, that will also be probed by NIA from 2020 onwards. Okay. Now, how wide is NIA's jurisdiction? The law under which the agency operates extend to the whole of India. So it is important that the jurisdiction is whole of India. There will be जो NIA की jurisdiction है, it is not related to a particular place of the country, but it is extendable to all the entire country. Now it also applies to Indian citizen outside the country. अगर कोई ऐसे citizen है इंडिया के जो बाहर रह रहे हैं, उन पे भी अप्लाई हो सकता है. Persons in the service of the government wherever they are posted. अगर कोई ऐसे लोग हैं जो गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज में हैं and जहां पे भी वो posted है, even if they are outside, it will apply to them also. Persons on ship and aircraft registered in India wherever they may be. तो अगर कोई ऐसे लोग हैं जो शिप्स में या एयरक्राफ्ट में हैं जो कि इंडिया में रजिस्टर्ड है बट कहीं और है, तो भी ये उन पे एप्लीकेबल होगा. Persons who commit a scheduled offense beyond India against the Indian citizen or affecting the interest of India. So अगर कोई ऐसा इंसान है किसी ने जिसने ये शेड्यूल्ड जो ऑफेंसेस हैं इनमें से किसी को कमिट किया है, जिस चाहे इंडिया के बाहर किया है, बट कहीं ना कहीं अगर वो हार्म कर रहा है इंडिया को, इंडिया के सिटीजन्स को या इंटरेस्ट को, तो फिर उस पर भी ये अप्लाई होगा. ओके. Now, how does NIA take up a prop? That we are going to read in this particular section. As provided under the Section 6 of the Act, the state governments can refer the cases pertaining to the scheduled offence registered at any police station to the central government for NIA investigation. So क्या होगा, कोई state government जो है, पहले तो Section 6 of the Act इतना जरूरी नहीं है याद रखने को, but if you remember it, then well and good. So जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है वो कोई भी ऐसा शेड्यूल्ड ऑफेंस जो कि लिस्ट में है, शेड्यूल्ड है उस पर्टिकुलर एक्ट की लिस्ट में, और वो रजिस्टर्ड है किसी पुलिस स्टेशन में, तो वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को रिक्वेस्ट कर सकती है नेशनल इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी की इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए. ठीक, वेरी इजी. After assessing the details made available, the center can then direct the agency to take over the case. So एक बार central government will try to assess it, and जो भी details होंगे उसके basis पे they will assess it, and then the central government can directly ask the NIA to probe into the case. Now, state governments are required to extend all assistance to NIA. जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट होगी जहां पे ऑफेंस हुआ है जिस स्टेट में, वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को पूरा हेल्प करना है, असिस्ट करना है एनआईए को. Even when the central government is of the opinion that a scheduled offense has been committed, which is required to be investigated under the Act, it may suo motu directly the agency to take up over the prop. Okay. So now what they are trying to say in this, कि अगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की ये ओपिनियन है कि जो क्राइम है वो किया गया है शेड्यूल्ड के अकॉर्डिंग, शेड्यूल्ड जो ऑफेंस है उसके अकॉर्डिंग, देन ऑल्सो जो एजेंसी है ये उसका एक तरीके से कर्तव्य है, डायरेक्ट एक पावर है उसके पास कि दे कैन प्रॉब इट डायरेक्ट. Okay, so with this we come to an end to this particular news which was related to National Investigation Agency. We talked about what is National Investigation Agency, why is it in news these days, and when was it made, what are all the scheduled offenses in it, and how wide the jurisdiction, then how they actually probe a case. With this, we come to an end to this particular news, and we have now another news which is about celebrating the unknown and the unsung. Now, this is related to has been 100 years ago in August 1922, the Rampa Rebellion or Manyam Rebellion. So this is these are two names for one particular rebellion. Took place in the forest of Godavari agency in the Madras presidency. So 100 years हो गया है इस particular rebel जो हुआ था रंपा और maybe Manya rebel. So now let's just try to understand what is this rebel about. The Rampa rebel in 1922, also known as the Manya, was a tribal uprising led by Alluri Sitarama Raju in Godavari agency. Okay, so it began in August 1922. ये बहुत ही important है, बहुत सारी information है इस particular paragraph में. So it began in August 1922 and lasted until the capture and killing of Raju in 1924. So 2 साल करीब ये चला. Okay, and we will try to understand that कि क्या क्या incidents हुए, क्यों हुआ, all those we will try to understand this in particular. Okay, so forced labor embargoes on collecting minor forest produce and bans on tribal agricultural practices led to severe distress among the Koyas in the area. So actually forced labor हो गई या फिर जो forest produce हो गया उस पे ban लगा दिया गया था, agricultural practices पे ban लगा दिया गया था, तो उससे कहीं ना कहीं बहुत ज्यादा disturbance आ गया था in tribal community of Koyas in that particular area. So Sitarama Raju did not belong to the tribal community. So जिस tribal community के साथ actually हो रहा था, he actually did not belong to this tribal community, but understood the restrictions that the British colonial administration placed on the tribal way of life. So he was not a tribal person, but he was getting understanding कि actually जो restrictions लगाई जा रही है British administration के through tribal way of life way, which is not right. So he was trying to have a rebellion on this act of the British government. Now, background of the revolt. The Rampa administrative area comprises around 1800 square kilometers and had a mostly tribal population of approximately 28,000. They had traditionally been able to support their food requirements through the use, in particular, of Kodu system, whereby each year some area of jungle forest were burnt to clear land for cultivation. So in this system, what they used to do, ये जो tribe था, इसमें क्या होता था कि वो कुछ जो forest होगा उसको कुछ area आग लगा के उसको clean कर देंगे ताकि उसपे वो अपने जरूरत के हिसाब से जो अनाज वगैरह है वो cultivate कर सके. The British Raj authorities had wanted to improve the economic usefulness of lands in Godavari agency, an area that was noted for the prevalence of malaria and black water fever. So now जो British authorities थे वो चाहते थे कि जो economic usefulness है उसको बेहतर किया जाए इस particular region में, गोदावरी एजेंसी में. और ये जो एरिया था इसमें बहुत ज्यादा मलेरिया और ब्लैक वाटर फीवर का जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा प्रेवलेंस हुआ करता. The traditional cultivation method were greatly hindered when the authorities took control on the forest, mostly for commercial purposes such as produce for building railways and ship. So ये जो उनका तरीका था, जो प्रोड्यूस सिस्टम था, वो बहुत ही ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब हो गया था कंट्रोल में एक तरीके से, जब जो फॉरेस्ट एरिया था वो ब्रिटिश अथॉरिटी ने कर लिया। क्यों? क्योंकि वो चाहते थे कि वहां पे कमर्शियल पर्पज से उस जगह को यूज किया जाए, रेलवे, शिप्स, ये सब की बिल्डिंग के लिए यूज किया जाए। नाउ this was a problematic situation for those tribal people because that was the only land where they could have their livelihood. So वहीं पे वो अपना खाना पीना उगा के उसको यूज करके ऐसे वो जीते थे। So now when it came in the control of British government, it created a problem. So this was done regardless of the need of the tribal people. And ये ब्रिटिश अथॉरिटीज ने किया, और इसमें उन्होंने एक भी बार ये नहीं सोचा कि जो ट्राइबल पीपल है उनकी क्या नीड है। Now then, why did people revolted? The tribal people of forested hills, who now faced starvation, had long felt that the legal system favored the Mutadar, which is state landlord and merchants. So जो ट्राइबल पीपल थे, जो हिल फॉरेस्ट में रहते थे, हिली एरियाज में रहते थे, अब ऑब्वियसली व्हेन दे आर नॉट एबल टू कल्टिवेट, तो स्टार्वेशन होगा। Now this was the situation when they tried to have this idea, उनको समझ में आने लगा था कि जो ये सिस्टम है पूरा, इसमें किसको फेवर किया जाता है ज्यादा? जो लैंड ओनर होता है और मर्चेंट्स जो होते हैं, उनको ज्यादा फेवर किया जाता है। दिस हैज आल्सो रिजल्ट इन द अर्लियर रामपा रिबेल ऑफ 1879. Now they objected also to the Raj laws and continued action that hindered their economic position and meant they had to find alternative livelihood. So now what happened actually, उन्होंने ऑब्जेक्शंस करना शुरू किया, जो लॉस थे, जो कि उनके एक्चुअली उनकी अपनी इकोनॉमिक सब्सिस्टेंसी को हार्म कर रहे थे, उनके लाइवलीहुड को हार्म कर रहे थे, एंड उनको कहीं ना कहीं फोर्स कर रहे थे कि वो कुछ ऑल्टरनेटिव लाइवलीहुड देखें। दे ऑब्जेक्टेड टू अटेम्प्ट at that time to use them as forced labor in the construction of a road in the area. Also ये जो administrative system था ब्रिटिशर्स का, वो क्या चाहते थे कि ये जो ट्राइबल पीपल हैं उनको फोर्स्ड लेबर की तरह यूज कर लिया जाए कंस्ट्रक्शन वगैरह के काम में, जो रोड वगैरह बनेगी, कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम होगा, उसमें दे हैड दिस एम टू यूज दीज पीपल एज द फोर्स लेबर। तो उन्होंने उसके अगेंस्ट भी ऑब्जेक्ट किया उन लोगों ने। नाउ व्हाट ऑल वाज द रोल ऑफ राजू? सो प्रीवियसली वी हैव सीन दैट एक्चुअली रिवॉल्ट हुआ क्यों। नाउ वी विल सी दैट व्हाट वाज द रोल ऑफ राजू। सो ही वाज अ charismatic sannyasi, believed by many tribal people to possess magical abilities and to have an almost messianic status. So ये जो राजू थे, जिन्होंने एक्चुअली इस रेबेल में काफी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया था, एंड ही वाज आल्सो put onto death. So he was believed to have a charismatic personality. Okay. So he saw the overthrow of colonial rule in terms similar to a millenarian event, and he harnessed the discontent of the tribal people to support his anti-colonial zeal. Now, it was his aim because he understood कि जो British colonial phase है, इसमें जो tribal people हैं उनको बहुत ही ज्यादा डिसकंटेंट सिचुएशन में रख दिया गया है, जो वो लोग चाह रहे हैं वो कर रहे हैं, और जो ट्राइबल पीपल है उनके बारे में नहीं सोचा जा रहा है. So he tried to work upon that and had this kind of rebel. Now, what was the cause of rebel? So Alluri Sitarama Raju, along with 500 tribal people, attacked the police station of Chintapalli, Krishna Devi Peta, and Rajavoma. सो इन्होंने 500 ट्राइबल पीपल को लिया एंड ये जो 3 पुलिस स्टेशन से इन पर अटैक किया. दे वॉकड अवे विद 26 पुलिस कार्बिन राइफल एंड 2500 राउंड ऑफ ammunition. Now, legends had it that Alluri himself would forewarn the British officers of an imminent attack and would challenge them to stop him, and with the superior resources that they had at hand. So, this is the belief that Ramaraju the, what he used to do, he used to warn the British government in advance. British officers जो होते थे उनको पहले से ही बता देते थे that he is going to do this attack, and उनको चैलेंज कर देते थे कि अगर हिम्मत है तो रोक के दिखा दे, जो भी रिसोर्सेज है वो अपने यूज करें एंड फिर उनको इस अटैक को करने से या इस रिबेल को करने से रोक के दिखा दो. So he was finally captured, tied to a tree and shot dead. So this was the end. कि उनको एंड में he was captured and उनको एक पेड़ से बांध के he was shot dead. Okay, so with this also we come to an end to this particular news. Now we have another news. Let's try to understand. So recently we have seen that India has banned the single-use plastic. So this is related to that, and we'll try to understand. While India's move to ban certain single-use plastics from July 1 is welcome, there continue to remain some challenges in India's efforts to meet the plastic challenge. So we all know जो कि सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक है जिसको एक बार यूज किया एंड फेंक दिया, जो रिसाइकलेबल भी नहीं है, वो हमने जुलाई 1 से उसका यूज जो है वो बैन किया है. बट एक वही चैलेंज नहीं है, देयर आर सो मेनी अदर चैलेंजेस दैट वी हैव रिलेटेड टू प्लास्टिक, एंड व्हाट आर दोस? लेट्स ट्राई टू. So according to the State of India's Environment 2022 report, 33% of India's plastic waste is in the form of multi-layered packaging which are non-recyclable. So जो India's Environment 2022 report आई है उसके अकॉर्डिंग 35% जो इंडिया का प्लास्टिक वेस्ट है, वो उसमें से जो 35% है जो मल्टी लेयर्ड पैकेजिंग है, जो कि बिल्कुल नॉन रिसाइकलेबल है. So this is a big challenge. Also, according to this report, wait. Also, according to this report, a substantial share of plastic waste in India ends up in dump sites and landfills, around 68%. Only 12% is recycled, and around 20% of the 3.5 billion tons of plastic waste generated in 2019-20 was burnt. ये सीन मैंने तो बहुत जगह देखा है, आपने भी देखा होगा. कई बार ऐसा होता है, स्पेशली व्हेन आई एम ट्रैवलिंग टू ट्रेन, तो जब किसी भी प्लेटफॉर्म पे पहुंचने वाले होते हैं, रेलवे स्टेशन पे पहुंचने वाले होते हैं, तो उससे कुछ पहले की जगह पे आई हैव सीन ह्यूज डंप्स ऑफ प्लास्टिक, एंड उसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. वो जो लैंड प्लास्टिक से भरा हुआ है वो भरा ही हुआ है, बिकॉज प्लास्टिक ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा, रिसाइकल किया नहीं जा सकता मोस्ट ऑफ द प्लास्टिक को. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स. ओके, सो प्लास्टिक वेस्ट इंडिया में जो है वो अराउंड 68% है, और सिर्फ 12% जो है वो रिसाइकल हो पाता है, और 20% प्लास्टिक वेस्ट जो है जनरेटेड इन 2019 एंड 20 वो बर्न हुआ था, सिर्फ 20% इन 2019 एंड 20। सो दिस इज अ वेरी बिग चैलेंज फॉर अस। इससे हमारा पूरा एनवायरमेंट जो है वो खराब हो रहा है, जमीन जो है वो भी खराब हो रही है जिसपे प्लास्टिक पड़े रहते हैं फॉर लॉन्गेस्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, क्योंकि वो पड़े ही रहेंगे ऐसे, बिकॉज दे आर देयर ओनली, वो खत्म भी नहीं होंगे, बायोडिग्रेडेबल तो है नहीं। तो दीज आर द सिनेरियोज व्हिच आर of very much concern actually. So in 2019, India produced an estimated 5 kg of mismanaged waste per person. Can you imagine, per person? And the population here is very huge. So, we need to think about this. Mismanaged waste is material which is at high risk of entering the ocean of coastline from inland waterways. So, this is also the case कि ये जो वेस्ट है ये सिर्फ लैंड तक ही नहीं बल्कि ओशन और कोस्टलाइन तक भी जा सकता है, जो कि फिर देन हमारी जो ओशन लाइफ है, ओशन का इकोसिस्टम है, वो फिर उसको वाटर इकोसिस्टम वगैरह को डिस्टर्ब कर सकता है, एंड ऑल्सो द वाटर। Okay, so also this was a small news but very informative, and there are so many important things. And also this somewhere teaches us that as being educated and responsible citizens, we must try not to use plastic. Okay, so let's just see the second news today that we have. It is actually related to GI tag. Okay, so we will try to understand. There is this ant chutney. Let's just read this. In Odisha, research is underway to make a presentation for the geographical indication registry of Kai chutney under the food category. Now, what is this Kai chutney? It is actually an ant chutney. Ant matlab chiti. Okay, the same. The Kai chutney is made mostly by the tribal of Mayurbhanj district in Odisha using the weavers ants. Weaver ants. Okay, this is the scientific name, which is Ophophilia smaragdina, are abundantly found in Mayurbhanj throughout the year. So they make nest with leaves of host trees, case feed on small insects and other invertebrates, their prey being mainly beetles, flies, and hymenopterans. Now, ये जो फीवर एंट हैं ये बहुत ज्यादा पाई जाती हैं इन द डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ मयूरभंज, एंड ये अपना नेस्ट बनाती हैं on the host trees, and their prey are mainly beetles, flies, all these. So this dish is actually rich source of essential nutrients and is known to boost the immune system, and is also used or as a remedy cure for many diseases. So ये जो dish है, chutney है, this is a good source of nutrients, and immune system को भी ये बहुत ज्यादा strong करता है. So here is the image that you can see what kind of chutney they are talking about. Okay. So with this, we come to an end to our today's news session. Now we have some important questions which we are going to see now. So yeah. So the first question that we have is related to one of the topics that we have recently seen in our daily current affairs session. So I think everybody must be able to answer this question. PSLV or orbital experimental module, which is also known as POEM, is associated with which organization? DRDO, ISRO, Hill, or BHIL? I think everybody should, those who have watched all the sessions, they must be able to answer this particular question. The right answer is ISRO. Okay, so we have seen this in very much detail in the last few classes, but still I'll read the explanation part because always there is an explanation, there is something very good to know. The PSLV Orbital Experimental Module is a platform which is used to perform in-orbit experiments using the final stage of ISRO's Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. In the PSLV rocket, first three stages fall back into the ocean and the final stage ends up as space junk. So after launching the satellite into orbit, POEM has a navigation guidance and control system for attitude stabilization. Okay, so this is the four stage basically experiment orbital experiment modules. Okay, so this already we have seen in you. The next question that we have, which is the only institution in India to issue electoral bonds. Options are RBI, SBI, Niti Aayog, CBD. Which one is it? This is also easy because this was in news, but I don't know if you people have read this or not. That is why I've brought it here, so that if you don't know, we can have a discussion on this and we can, try to learn this. Okay, so the right answer is SBI. The government has approved the issuance of 21st phase of sale of electoral bonds through authorized SBI's branches from July 1. So State Bank of India, which is SBI, is the only authorized institution to issue and encash electoral bonds through its 29 authorized branches. So 29 authorized branches जो हैं SBI की, उनके थ्रू ये electoral bonds जो हैं वो issue होंगे और encashed होंगे. Now electoral bonds are interest-free bearer instrument which can be encashed by the party through a bank account within 15 days. Okay. Okay, so with this, we come to an end to our daily current affairs session today. Tomorrow, I'll meet you with another daily current affairs session. Till then, keep studying and working hard. So, yeah. Okay, thank you so